Deputy President, thank you so much for joining us right here on Bloomberg TV. How is the dialogue at the moment with President Jacob Zuma?
Well, the dialogue is going very well. We are in a transitional period. After the ANC conference, where I was elected as president, we decided, both of us decided, that we needed to manage the transition, with President Zuma being in the Union Buildings, which is the seat of government, and me being in Luthuli House, which is the headquarters of the ANC. We should never find the two centers at loggerheads and at war with each other. So we decided that we will set up a protocol which will lead to us discussing matters properly, matters of government, matters of the ANC, so that we have a smooth transition. And that's precisely what we are doing.
But were you surprised to see that Mr. Zuma went to appeal to the High Court for you to change the prosecutor, the head prosecutor?
Yes, that was a bit surprising. But one of the issues that he appealed on was the setting up of the Commission of Inquiry into state capture. I had to go and inform him that the ANC conference had actually taken a decision that he should not appeal that decision of the court. We discussed it, and we then, after that meeting, he then went ahead and set up the Commission of Inquiry into state capture. He did, however, say that he would want to appeal on a legal matter, just to clarify who has the final authority of appointing commissions. So it's a narrow matter which does not change anything. So we've agreed that that can go ahead, but the real issue that's important is that the state of capture inquiry is going ahead. So we are going to go ahead with that, and the terms of reference are being finalized. So soon it will all be systems go, but we're also taking care to separate the work of the commission and what needs to happen in terms of pursuing those who have done wrong, so that there can be prosecutions, arrests, as well as continued investigations.
There's a lot of hope being pinned on you
Yes.
to clean up South Africa.
Yes.
What do international investors ask you when you meet with them?
Well, international investors, when we meet with them, confirm to us that South Africa is an important country in as far as investment is concerned. They are concerned about issues things that have been happening in South Africa, and they've been wanting to know whether the process that we have now started with of ridding our country of corruption is sustainable. And we've assured them that yes, it is. They wanted to know whether the reforms that we are embarking upon on state-owned enterprises is sustainable. They've also wanted to know whether the legal framework in terms of stability is sustainable, and we said yes. Our institutions also sustainable? Are they going to continue being strong? We've said yes to all that. So the discussions that I'm having with investors are very positive. They've all been expressing very, very positive disposition towards South Africa, because their level of confidence is going up. They can see that we are very serious about dealing with corruption. We're very serious about engendering stability in South Africa. So, and also the governance of the country. So they can see that we're very serious.
How did corruption get so bad, and how can you clean it up?
Well, corruption got quite bad. It started seeping into state institutions, state-owned enterprises, and it actually took quite a bit of time for all of us to realize that this was a network which was well thought out, which resulted in the capturing of the state. And when the newspapers started revealing it, and when the emails started spewing out, we then realized that it was far more serious than what we had hoped. Now, cleaning up clearly is going to be quite a mammoth task, but we've got to start somewhere. And I believe that we have already started with cleaning up our state-owned enterprises. Last week, we dismissed the whole board of the electricity company that we have, and we've installed a new board, a new CEO, and those who have been found complicit in wrongdoing have been removed and will continue to be removed as we find things. So the wheels of change are moving now, and they are going to start speeding up as we go into other government departments, state-owned enterprises. It's an imperative that we should clean up South Africa and rid our country of corruption, because that is what is holding us back from reaching higher levels of growth. And our people are clamoring for a clean government, and that is what we are going to give them.
Do you think President Zuma will step down before his term ends?
We are in a transitional process or period right now. We are discussing this matter. There are quite a number of commentators, a number of members of the ANC, and a number of other leaders in the country who say he must leave right now. But we have taken the view that this is a very, very delicate matter. He still has 1.5 years to serve his term out. And we've decided that we are going to manage this transition very carefully. What we don't want to see is a humiliation of a person who is a head of state. What we don't want to see is him being treated with disrespect. But in the course of all this, we're winning his cooperation in as far as managing this transition. So we will manage it so well that it does not divide the nation, and we will manage it in the interests of the people of South Africa.
So at the moment, you think he will serve his full term, or anything could happen?
We are managing the transition. We are in the course of managing this transition, and all I can say to our people is that let's allow this process to unfold, and let's see where it finally leads us.
How worried are you about the rating agencies cutting your debt again?
I'm much more confident that we now have a better story to put before the rating agencies, and many of us will be actively involved in having a dialogue with them. Some of the things that they were worried about, we are putting right now. Mm-hmm. We are correcting issues of political instability. We've become more stable now. We are correcting issues of regulatory uncertainty. We are attending to that. We are also addressing issues of where growth of our economy will come from. And we are also addressing issues of our state-owned enterprise reform process. And I think we now have a much more positive story to put to them. It is not like last year or a year ago when we were all over the show. Now we have a clear path to the future, of a better future of South Africa, and we've got a game plan. Yeah. We now know where we're going, and we're ridding our country of all the bad things that have been holding us back.
But will the rating agencies give you the time to do that, or is there a danger that they cut your debt rating at the next budget?
Well, we are hoping. I'm hoping, and we are going to work very, very, very much towards this, that they will give us time. They will see that all of us as South Africans are united at correcting what has gone wrong. Business is with us, labor is with us, government throughout various structures of government is working together, and community-based organizations. So you can't do any better. This is like a potent force that even rating agencies will realize that South Africa now is on a correction path. We're correcting things, and we are renewing ourselves, and we are uniting a nation that wants to grow, a nation that wants the past to be behind us and correct all the bad things that have been happening.
And you've always said that policy consistency is very important, and one way, of course, to achieve the stability you're talking about.
Yes.
What will you do as head of the ANC to resolve the impasse over the mining charter, but also how to fund the tertiary education system and how to resolve the welfare crisis?
Well, the welfare crisis is not really a crisis as it is now. We've got, a welfare system which has functioned very well, and we've been able to fund it, and we will continue funding it because that is important to alleviate the poverty of our people and also deal with the inequality. So I'm not so worried about the welfare system as it stands. But the education one is one that we need to deal with. We've got to find additional revenues to be able to fund the education, and the task or the burden of it may not be as large as we thought it was. We're currently getting students to be registered at the institutions of higher learning. We'll be able to balance all the figures, and we will see what the deficit is. And then when the budget is then announced, we will be able to find money, and it could be some budgetary cuts there and there. It could also be finding a new stream of revenue. But I think we will find the solution for that. I don't think that will be such a major problem. And I think we should be able to have a well-balanced budget as well, much as there are quite a number of challenges. So I think we are on a good path. We are doing quite a number of things correctly, and we will continue to do them correctly.
Deputy President, thank you so much for your time today.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much.